lot of momentum inside of these Gators right now, as that is the most runs that they have scored the entire season. My name is Mike Schwinn. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Aaron Cundy, and really what San Francisco just showed us in the last game is they have the capability to be one of the greatest offensive powerhouses in the entire country. They're standing right now at third in the CCAA, with Chico State looking up at 2.5 games. We'll see what they're going to show us this afternoon.
That loss that the Gators just dealt them was a little bit on the devastating side. Chico State Wildcats was a little bit under pressure, as they have only one game to win and you're in. It's kind of a do or die situation, as the Wildcats are trying to clinch a final spot in that CCAA playoffs. Losing this one definitely hurts them. Depending on if Sonoma State, their rival, can go ahead and fall back on their backs while the Gators play them too as well. So we're going to see a little bit more of a competitive baseball team right now, as the Wildcats are hunting in the water. They want some blood. They did not like getting beat down 12-4 last game. So we're going to see a lot of tensions, a lot of flair, and we're going to see a lot of action today, boys and girls.
And really, I think the big weakness that we saw in the last game with Chico is their pitching. Their starting pitcher in the last game at one point walked 5 batters in a row, which led to SF State's big 4-run first inning.
Yeah, we did see a lot of pass balls, a lot of free runs. If I'm not mistaken, it was around 4 freebies that Chico State gave out, which in turn put the Gators in the history category of having the most amount of runs scored the entire year. As we get underway, we're going to go ahead and see our starting pitcher, Jordan Elliott, get into stride. Here's the first pitch.
And it's a ball inside.
First pitch, 4:05 p.m.
Second game begins at 4:05 p.m.
Elliott Jordan has got a 4.6 ERA on the season, with 4 wins and 3 losses in the 11 appearances.
And he's showing bunt. Strike. Count is 1-1.
He's allowed 67 hits, 31 earned runs, and he only has hit 8 people, but he's struck it out 44. So we're going to see Jordan try and boost those numbers, get a bunch of strikeouts, and keep this momentum flowing from game one.
Snuck that one in there. Inside corner strike.
No. I'll grab this.
Sets, and here's the pitch. And he hits it through the gap at second base, and that's going to be a single.
So we see these Chico State Wildcats coming out hot with a no-out first at-bat single. Definitely, you can feel the tension. No baseball player likes playing a second game after they've lost 12-4. So everybody is on high alert. Everybody's fired up from the coach's speech before, and we're going to see what happens as this game unfolds.
We have a last-minute substitution for Chico State. We have Michael Pineda backing second. And the windup, and fouls it off. New ball in the game. Runner on first, no outs.
Malone coming out with his sweet hairdo, getting those balls. He is said to have the second best hairdo on the team.
Yeah, I would go first, actually.
Some people prefer the mullet than the fro. Mullet's making a comeback. Reference Theo Vaughn.
And he throws back to first. Safe.
Quick little spin around from Elite as he tries and holds that runner on. Does not want to give up a free bag in the first inning.
And the pitch. That's a strike.
Good delivery there by Jordan.
Taking a real long time to set up here.
Luckily, since it's early in the game, these pitchers can definitely have a little bit of breathing room. As the sun is setting, wind is coming on in. It's a little
high.
little breath of fresh air for just about everybody today. Now, we didn't see Jordan in the first game, so he is fresh and ready to put the boys on his back and start diving into these 9 innings. Granted, if he goes that far.
And there's contact to third base, and throw is bobbled, and it is overthrown. Runner moves to third. Oh, and he's going home. Ball is dead.
So in that
Left
case,
fielder,
unfortunately,
number 11,
the
Cody Whistler.
third baseman for the San Francisco Gators, Anton Self, went ahead and picked up that ball, looked to second, saw they had no play and threw it to first. And unfortunately, he overthrew it. But to the Gators' luck, that ball went ahead and went out of play. Umpire's hands went up, which means that the runner does not go around home third base and score from home. He has to stay on third. So right now we're looking at the first inning with no outs, runners on second and third.
And we have Cody Whistler coming to the plate. Cody Whistler's had a big last couple of weeks, being named the CCAA Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. He went 8 for 8, and he fouls one off, and it's caught. That's one out. Still runners on first and third.
Anton Self with a nice
Designated
little
hitter,
pop-up
number
dance
34,
on the third
Alex
baseline.
DeVito.
Gets that nice easy out. That's what every pitcher wants to have. One pitch, one out. It's like the ice cream sundae for pitchers. Cherry on top.
3 scoops, 3 strikes.
In this case, he only got 1 scoop.
Alex DeVito at the plate. Designated hitter. And he sets, and the pitch. And that's a strike.
That was a nice pitch down and in. Get the batter swinging.
DeVito steps out and adjusts his gloves. Short timeout.
Baseball players are the most superstitious people in all of sports. Sometimes it doesn't feel right in the batter's box, so you just got to step out and just reset, get it all over again.
DeVito's got a real low stance, low center of gravity, and that's a low outside ball.
It's got the squat going almost. A little bit of that front leg action is just way at the top of that batter's box, and the back leg looks like it's reaching for help.
Who does he remind you of?
Now, he does remind me of a lot of players. If I'm not mistaken, was it Eric Chavez that had a stance like that?
Yeah, Eric Chavez and Miguel Tejada were
You're
both
right,
low center
Tejada.
of gravity hitters back in the days for the A's.
Both Oakland A's players. Now, if he brought that front leg in and kind of didn't have it so straight out, he kind of reminded me of a little bit of an Aaron Rowan in a way.
See that?
Maybe doing a little bit of a hybrid right now as he digs in for pitch number 3, 4.
Oh, he gets a good piece of it, and it's lined foul down the third base side. Steps out again. You can tell DeVito's a very strong guy.
DeVito is actually their best player on the team. As I mentioned last game, he went 8 for 16 in the week with a bunch of hits.
And he lines one. Oh, bounces over the second baseman. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Runner goes to second. And it's cut off by the second baseman.
As I mentioned, DeVito being their strongest player on their team, he
The
goes
catcher,
ahead and
number 29,
dings one
Miles
in
Moran.
for a nice 2-run double. DeVito, as I mentioned, was the Wildcat of the week. He went 8 for 16 with 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. So you go ahead and plop on another double to that and 2 more RBIs for the week coming up. And let's just say he's on fire. Didn't really do anything last game, but looks like he's hunting out for this game as the Chico State Wildcats get ahead in this inning, 2-0.
And here is senior Miles Moran coming to the plate. And he sets, and the pitch. Oh, he got a good piece of that one. The shortstop picks it up and throws it to first, and he is out. 2 outs. Runner still on second.
That was a great
First
way
base,
to get in front of that
number
ball by
25,
Brady Dorn.
Justin
He goes
Miller.
ahead and keeps his center of balance low, uses his whole body to protect that ball, make sure it doesn't squeak by, gets that guaranteed out, makes it 2 outs there in the top of
It's
the
all
first.
about the mechanics.
Absolutely. One thing you just don't want to do is just let the ball get by you. That's because if the ball gets by, then you got DeVito going to third. Now you have runners on first and third. Nobody wants that.
You know, it's those little mental mistakes that really make or break a ball game.
Yeah, we saw that last game with the Wildcats. Mostly pitching mistakes, also mental because they couldn't find their mark, and a couple of pass balls and hit batters resulted in some free runs from them.
And this is Dustin Miller. And the pitch. Skied high. The left fielder comes in, and he makes the catch.
Wildcats get a pair on a bad hop double from DeVito.
Inning half over.
2-0 as
Bottom of the first.
Luckily, Harley Lopez was able to get under that ball with no problem at all. Nice routine fly to him. Today, we see him in the outfield as opposed to first base. First base is his normal home, which he feels really comfortable with. But Harley Lopez is an all-around baseball player. He's able to play any position on the field. So today, he will be in left field. As we look at the scoreboard, Chico State put on 2 runs in the top of the first. SF State looking to bounce back and kind of get rid of that lead that they have and make this nice and even ball game.
Who's that whispering in the trees? It's 2 sailors and they're only hats and chains and swinging hands. Who's your daddy? Yes, I am. That cat came to play. Now you can't run fast enough.
And we have Jordan Aguilite starting for Chico State today with a 4.68 ERA and 4.3 win-loss record. Leading off today, we'll have Jack Harris, who had a big game earlier today.
While we have a little time, let's go ahead and take a look at our pitcher for Chico State today. Andrew Lopez, he's a right-handed pitcher, 5'11", clocks in at 210 pounds. Hometown is San Diego, and he's majoring in communications. In 2018, he made 12 relief appearances for the Wildcat, posted his first career Chico State victory on February 10th against Northwest Nazarene. Before his Chico days, he pitched 2 seasons for Southwest College in Chula Vista, here in Pacific Coast Athletic Conference Honorable Mention in 2017, and he's a 2013 graduate of Buena Vista High in San Diego. He has a couple of sports heroes, including Pedro Martinez. He enjoys fishing, says the best thing about Chico State is the environment, and hopes to travel the world someday.
And it really is gorgeous up there, isn't it?
Absolutely. All of these Chico players must be feeling a little bit, a little bit at home. It's a nice sunshine, small breeze. Difference between Chico and San Francisco right now is probably about 10 to 15 degrees, but for Chico State, this is more like having a baseball game at home with some sweet air conditioning on. Now for San Francisco State, this is the Rolls Royce of playing in baseball because it is sunshine, no clouds, no wind. Absolutely perfect day for baseball.
Well, low wind now at least.
That is true.
And Jack Harris takes a strike.
Someone knock on wood immediately. Jack Harris averaging .341 with 27 runs, 6 home runs, and 23 ribs. Looking to add to that total right here as he takes that in for a ball.
Count is 1-1.
Jack Harris, hometown, Watsonville, California. California boy. Jack Harris played last game, did fantastic. Couple of ribbies, couple of doubles. Looking to do the exact same in this game as he is going to play all 18
and he gets
innings.
a great piece of it lined right to the second baseman.
Griffin Hennessy was right there for the snag.
The second
Easy
baseman,
play.
number
Only had to move
4,
about a half
Jackson
step.
Fritz.
And that retires Jack Harris for the inning.
That brings up Jackson Rich, the junior. resets himself.
Got a boy on top. Got a boy on top.
He's coming in there with a more upright stance and a leg kick in his swing. And the pitch. That's a ball.
A little bit about Jackson Chris. He's an infielder. Throws right, bats right, 5'11". He's a junior. He's majoring in accounting.
That's responsible.
I bet you he's counting on getting a hit right now.
Hey, those are jokes.
Zing.
I guess this is the perfect sport for him because they say that baseball is a game of numbers.
You are right indeed. It is.
Nice.
Check swing, and that is a
Nice.
strikeout.
That little time that he took to reset proves costly for Jackson Chris as he looks at strike 3 as it blows right by him for a strikeout. That'll be the first strikeout for the Wildcats today. Don't really want to see too much of those this afternoon. I want to see a nice repeat of game 1. See if Gators take 2.
Brady Dorn, senior. Oh, he slugs that thing to right field. Oh, and a great diving catch by the right fielder.
Like
And
that.
that will end the inning.
The Gators go in order.
You really can't complain on a play like that. That's exactly what you want your outfielders to do. Get dirty, lay out, catch that ball.
That was
Now,
excellent defense.
we look at that replay. He just gets nice and dirty on there, ends the inning. And the Wildcats have a nice momentum shift as they go up 2-0, and then they go 1-2-3 and bottom of the first.
So interesting how in these double headers, it seems like the games are largely standalone events that don't really have anything to do with each other.
That's true. As much as you want the momentum for the first game to be on your side, as soon as that first pitch gets thrown, it's an entirely new ball game.
And you can tell that home plate umpire Pat Rivera is exhausted after 4 hours of calling games.
And my boy Pat, he's got the stamina. I heard one time he did 12 hours of baseball as both games went into 18 innings. It was insane.
Wow.
He is a trooper out there. And those games, it was actually freezing. A little bit of rain came down mid-game, so it's kind of wet. But today, luckily for him, he's living that California dream. Sunshine and big smiles.
The top of the second
They have
inning
a
for Chico
college
State.
umpire
The right
Hall of
fielder,
Fame.
number 27, Eddie Zavala.
I do think they do. It should be right next to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame down the block. Not as big as a showcase for them. I actually think it's just a hallway, not so much of an arena. But there is a small section for magnificent college umpires like Jack.
And that'll bring up Eddie Zavala, the junior right fielder. Hits right, throws right. And he gets right.
Eddie Zavala averaging .311 on the season with 35 strikeouts. He's been hit by the pitch 6 times, but he's gotten a couple of big dingers in there with 2. He's walked 9 times, and he's got 20 RBIs on the season.
And Mr. Lopez brings the heat there. The swing and a miss from Zavala.
That was quite nice from Lopez. Definitely finding his location, figuring out where to throw, figuring out where that strike zone is, especially in the first inning.
A high outside pitch, and that's ball.
Eddie Zavala, 6'1", 195, junior. He's majoring in criminal justice. He has plans of being a police officer after he's done with college.
And pitch. And he gets a piece of it. It's a bouncer down the third base line, and he guns it to first, and he will be safe.
Nice try, Trev.
And
Don't worry.
the fans are upset.
Try over there.
about that.
Umpire down the first base line doing his best impersonation of a clown as he
Second
juggles an
Number
invisible
42,
ball,
Griffin
claiming that
Hennessy.
number 17, Trevor Rogers, bobbled it during that throw. Anton Self had a long way to go on that one, and unfortunately for Trevor Rogers, he could not keep his hands on it, and that means that there is a runner, Eddie Zavala, on first here in the top of the second with no outs. Up to bat, Griffin Hennessy.
He is a junior and a righty. That's a strike. Take a quick timeout. And he's back in the box. Pitcher sets himself from the windup. And he throws back to first, and he's safe.
Right now, the count is 0-1 with no outs.
Score is 2-0 Chico.
No. Put a question mark.
Come on, Griff.
Down here, and here comes the pitch. Sets and delivers. It's swung on
Good piece of
to the
that.
second base. Throws to the second. And only get one out on that one. As the runner at first, Hennessy is
Third base.
safe. But
Number
luckily
one,
for the
Jorge
Gators, they were
Perez.
able to get one out at second. That's always great to get the lead runner out, but not good to have someone on base. Contacting us.
Go, Gators. Go.
All right, up to bat. Up to bat.
And the pitch. And that's a strike.
End of the lineup right here with Jorge Perez up to bat. He's a junior batting .252. He's got 107 at bats with 11 runs, 27 hits, a couple of doubles, and he's got 14 RBIs on the season.
And he throws back to first in time.
Elite keeps that runner on first by throwing it back to him, making sure that that lead is not strong. One of the difficulties with right-handed pitchers is that their back is facing the first base runner.
Got to keep your head on a swivel. And he shows bunt, but it's foul.
Absolutely. Sometimes it can be kind of distracting that you have to look over your shoulder and you get away from what you're focusing on, the batter in the box. And sometimes you see a little bit of slip up here and there, but luckily for that, that ball was right on track. He fouled it off. Count is 0-2.
Not taking much of a lead, though. That's interesting. And the pitcher sets himself and throws back to first again. And he's safe.
Dives in there barely at the right moment. But luckily for him, luckily for Griffin, he was called safe. Now you will see a little bit of hesitation from these Chico State runners as catcher Jason, if you will, Jason Hare has been known to throw out some people, but right there we see an unfortunate balk. Third base umpire says the B word on the field. No pitcher wants to hear the B word.
When you take your toe off the rubber, anything can happen.
Yeah. That's just an unfortunate free bag right there. Do not want to see that snowball, especially in this case for pitcher Jordan Elite.
Hennessy, of course, 2 for 5 on the season, stolen bases, 2 attempts.
Only 2 attempts. That's it's not too much to worry about, but you will see a little bit of peppering left and right from Kirch as that ball is in there for a ball. But as I was saying, you'll see a little bit of kind of small ball play between Jordan Elite and Jackson Kirsch as they will go back and forth. Couple of glove pats here and there to see if they can actually pick off this runner or kind of get him off his step.
Eglite looks back, sets, keeping an eye on the runner on second base, and a foul tip. Scores 2-0 Chico.
Stays alive. Count is 1-2. Elite looking for a nice strikeout situation right here.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get off the field without giving up any more runs.
One thing San Francisco State does not want to do is give up any more runs.
Oh, and he makes contact right to the third baseman, and it's Bob, and he throws it to first, and the runner is safe. It was kind of a weird throw. So now we have runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Unfortunately, if you saw that as quick as that play was, Anton
Three,
Self
TJ
did not
Navarro.
touch the ball with his glove. As we look back, it dives down the third base line, and Anton actually hits it with his throwing hand, which could possibly be a reason why he threw it off. Made the first baseman get off the bag, and unfortunately in that play, everybody's safe.
You know, it's like what we were talking about earlier. It's those small mental mistakes that can really cost you in the end.
Right now, the Gators are, in fact, digging into that cookie pot of small mistakes. They're going to go ahead and need to take their hand out of that. They're going to get out of this inning without any runs.
Ooh, foul tip hard.
That one gave a little chest music for Blue behind home plate. That thud was not from the catcher. That was from umpire, as that one ricocheted off the bat and went straight into the chest plate of the home plate umpire.
It's our boy Pat.
Pat.
Rivera.
Big P is what they call him in the streets.
We've got Barney Navarro on first base and Gary Frienders on third. And they call time.
Jordan Navarro calls time. Did not like how long that Jordan Elite was taken.
Navarro was very far back in the batter's box. It's an interesting strategy. And he kicks and he hits it, and there's contact. Throws the first and the second, and that's a double play, guys.
Bam, bam, bam. That's really what you want to get out of that inning. Well done by everybody on the field to go ahead and dig that nice double play from Bourne right over to Kirst, and then he delivers it right on down to first base to get that double play with about a step and a half away. Dugout's pumped. Everybody's pumped.
It almost made up for the errors that cost us a couple runs earlier in the game.
The best part about baseball is with every pitch you get a reset, and with each one of those you can start a new vibe, a new trend, and with that, Jordan Elite definitely set a new trend that doesn't matter if people are on base, he's going to go ahead and get them out and get through the inning because he knows the boys behind him definitely have his back. And that was just a prime example of what it takes to get out of one of those crazy innings.
You know, they say baseball is really 1,000 games in one. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. It's 19,000 sometimes, if you will. Everything's going at once. It takes a lot of concentration for not only the players on the field, but for the viewers as well. So if you get distracted, you could get lost in the game easily, which is very important for these SF Gators to not get distracted by being down 2-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Well, also, when you lose focus, that's when those mental mistakes start to happen.
Absolutely.
The second inning for the Gators. First base, number 17, Trevor Rogers.
Rogers is going to go ahead and step into the box right now.
That's a big cut.
Rogers playing first base today. He hits left, he bats left, throws left, does all the things left. And he's 6'3", comes from Mountain View, and he's majoring in business.
But does he consider himself a goofy foot?
A little bit. I was talking to him before the game about snowboarding, which is one of our things we have in common. He says he prefers goofy foot over the classic regular way to snowboard.
Oh,
Asked him how many.
Sky high.
Now that was a lucky case right there for the Gators as catcher for the Chico State Wildcats. Miles Morin had zero clue where that pop-up went. He lost it in the sun, and that means that our boy Trevor Rogers gets another pitch.
We were looking out for ourselves there.
Call that one a big thank you to baseball gods upstairs.
Pitch. And it's a ball.
So
No outs, 2 balls, 1 strike. And he gets an amazing piece of it, and it's traveling, it's going, and it's caught by the center fielder.
Fortunately for that one, Kyle Pineda was right under it. It was a little bit on the slower side for a pop fly into the outfield, so Pineda had plenty of time, shuffled over just a little bit, and got out number 1 for the inning.
Score is still 2-0 Wildcats.
Up to bat, Anton Self. Anton Self this year is averaging 247 with 18 hits, 13 RBIs, and 3 dingers over the wall. He's also been walked 10 times, and unfortunately he's struck out 11 times.
And that's a baseball game if I've ever heard one.
It's not half bad.
Count is 2-1. Oh, and that's a strike.
See a lot of business majors in San Francisco State. Anton Self being one of those.
Wind up and the pitch, and it's fouled off.
Nice hack for Self. 2018, Anton Self appeared in 33 games with 28 starts. He batted .292 with .402 OPS, with 1 home run, 54 assists, and with those 54 assists, he was 3rd most on the team.
Gets a good piece of that. Loop to the shortstop. Bobbles it. Throws it to first. And he's out.
Now, you might see that as a bobble from JT Navarro, but that one looked like he kind of just flicked it up into him. As we look here,
Colin Gable, the right.
Fields it low, pops it up into his throwing hand, and delivers the strike over for the out to get Rogers, or to get Self retired. Now, as I was saying earlier, this guy right here, Harley Lopez, is the guy to look out for. He is a absolute stud in the batter's box.
And that falls in there for a strike.
2019, he was named Gator of the Week 3 times in February 4th through 10th, 19th through 24th, and also in March 11th through 17th. He got, last season, an average of 323 with 4.478 OPS, played 49 games with 46 starts. Lopez also made 2 appearances on the mound with 1 strikeout. Like I said, he is an all-around baseball player, an absolute gem to have in the lineup. He can play, and he
lines one through the gap by second base. He's going 1, and he holds up there. No outs, runner on first. Oh.
Harley Lopez making decent contact as he always does, gets on base.
And with 2 outs, here comes Trevor Greeny. Throws right, hits right. Hitting .321. From the stretch. And it's high and outside. Count is now 1-0. 2 outs, runner on first.
Small name change on that. Sorry about that. This up to bat is 20, Colin Gable. Colin Gable is a redshirt freshman walk-on. He's from Scottsdale, Arizona, and he's majoring in communication. We do apologize about that. Unfortunately, our lineup cards seem to be just a shade off right now.
Couple last-minute subs. And we have a 3-0 count. You can see the stress starting to get to Lopez there on the mound as he resorts to the stretch to get himself ready. Throws, and it's high and inside. Runners on first and second, 2 outs.
Gotta love a 4-pitch walk.
See if we can have some similar success to the last game with free runners on base. Here comes Trevor Greenlee, the designated hitter. He's a big guy, hitting .256. and 86 at bats. Scored 9 runs, 22 hits.
Trevor Greenlee, definitely a big guy, 6'3", 200 smackaroos on the scale, majoring in criminal justice. This season is actually his redshirt season. In 2017, he appeared in 18 games with 9 starts and posted a 1,000 in fielding percentage. This man does not make an error.
And that was a high ball.
That counts 5 in a row for Andrew Lopez. That's a lot of balls. A lot of noise chatter from San Francisco Gators bullpen and dugout.
They like to stay loud. They're a spirited bunch of guys.
They definitely do not want to let Lopez know that they are non-existent. They want to let them know that they're here, they're behind him, just piping in his ear. The louder they are, the more distracted he gets.
It is our house after all.
Gotta love home field advantage, baby.
And the pitch takes a piece, bounces off the catcher's helmet. Count is now 1-2. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Connor steps out for a moment. Seems to be staring down Lopez. Steps back in from the stretch.
Lopez seems to be one of their better pitchers on the team. He's only got a 1.52 ERA this season. He's done a lot of work for these Wildcats over the season. 65 innings pitched. He's only allowed 49 hits, 20 runs, 11 earned runs. He's struck out 46. Now his walk to strikeout ratio is 46 strikeouts to 22 walks. So he likes to put the ball in play, and he trusts that his Wildcats behind him will do the trick. As right now the count is full, 3-2.
No worries. And we can really tell that Lopez is rattled here in the first inning. He's having a hard time trying to get his target locked. And he pitches and foul off. Runners go. Of course, they will go back to second and first, respectively.
Just like last game, you're seeing a lot of foul offs this game. Almost looks like if you were to go in those bushes, it would look like Beethoven from Sandlot with just a bunch of baseballs hiding in there. Because as they get into the bushes, they disappear forever.
Boy, if you found your way in there, you could play baseball for 100 summers.
Absolutely. The squirrels must be having a ball when this field is empty.
And the pitch. And he hits it
Slow
to
dribble.
second base. Throws it to first, and he's out.
Gators get a hit for walk. They lead 2. We go to the third, 2-0. Chico State.
On that inning, Gators get a hit and a walk. We'll go to third. It is 2-0, Chico State.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot.
As we head down here into the top of the third, couple things to mention. Let's just talk a little bit about the field that we're playing at. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco. Nice, crisp, 71 degrees. Wind blowing west at around 11 miles an hour at Maloney Field. In fact, Maloney Field was opened in 1955, located just off of State Drive near Campus Parking Garage. Maloney Field is a tree-lined facility with grass field, seating capacity for approximately 1,000 people. Now, in the last game, it looked like it was a complete sellout, over 1,000, only standing room only. But due to this second doubleheader game, looks like a couple people filed out as they might have classes or other things to do. Capacity over here looks at around 800 people at the game, which is a fantastic turnout for these Gators right now. Gators really liking the improvements that they did in 2017, which included fieldwork, new pitcher's mound, new sod, new windscreens, and the installation of new foul poles.
Leading off the top of the third inning for Chico State, center fielder number 21, Kyle Pineda.
So here comes Kyle Pineda to the plate. Chico again really needing to win this game to stay in the CCAA tournament race. Unlike most other divisions, the CCAA takes the top 6 teams, other than divisible by 4. And the pitch. And that's a ball. Pineda really wanting to get a piece of this one.
Pineda doing decently over the past couple games.
And he slugs it through the gap on the right side of the field, and he will take first.
That's not stopping him from this right here as he gets a go ahead runner on with no outs here at the top of the third.
Cody Whistler coming to the plate. Lefty.
Whistler played a little bit in the last game. We saw a little bit of what he can do to this Gators lineup. He's trying to go ahead and bounce back from that loss and throw some on.
A big bouncer right to the second baseman, and he throws it, and that's one. So a fielder's choice there.
I must say that was pretty darn decent of Jackson Krish to get that ball out of his glove and on his back foot and throw it over to shortstop Brady Dorn. It's a very difficult play to be accurate and precise with that. He spent no time getting it out of his glove, but unfortunately Brady Dorn decided to hold the trigger to Rogers because he thought that there wasn't enough time to get him out on first. And Pineda's on first.
And Alex DeVito steps in the box. Righty with the low stance. And the pitch, swing and a miss.
DeVito's that lookout guy. You always want to get him out at all costs.
Pineda showing a little bit of lead there on first base. Ecklight looks over again. Sets himself. And the pitch, low.
Alex DeVito has played in just about every single one of the wins that Chico State has pumped up. And looking here at his stats, I can only see one time where he's averaged less than 300 batting average. That was very little close against State.
Swing and a miss. A third,
we
second.
got ourselves a pickle here.
And the tag. He is out. No runners on base. 2 outs in the inning.
Rogers putting on that last tag in a pickle. Don't see those too often in baseball, but when you do, you get really excited, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get excited, you get scared, and then you just give up because there's not really a lot you can do. DeVito steps back in with a 1-2 count.
Like for the Gators, they did do something. They got him out. So now there's nobody on the base pass. That'll be a little bit of breath of fresh air for Jordan Ecklight as he dives in for the pitch.
High and outside.
A little high for DeVito. As I was mentioning before earlier, that only game where DeVito dipped his batting average below 300 was against Stanislaus State, where he batted a 292. So not that far off.
Swing and a miss. And the inning is over.
That is a clutch strikeout for Jordan Elite, as he definitely needed to get their big bat off in a hurry, and that's exactly what he did. And the best part about that is he does not have to see Alex DeVito for another 8 batters. So it definitely gives him a lot of time to plow through that lineup and get some decent outs before he has to see that big boy again.
I mean, if at all, you know, the way things are going in this game, we might see another pitcher before then. Although he's throwing some heat right now, so we'll see.
Ecklight had a little bit of a rockiness in the beginning, but I think Egglight's definitely found his groove, especially with knowing the fact that he's got 8 people behind him that have his back, making sure 7 people behind him that know he's got his back, and he's got to trust them if he wants to get through this game. But what these Gators need to do is they need to put on some runs. Let's get the tally up, because right now we're seeing that Chico State is 2 and San Francisco State is 0 as we head into the bottom of the third.
What do you think? A nice 5-run safety net will do?
I would enjoy all of the run safety nets, as many as you can. Call it a going out of business sale. Give me all of the runs you have.
You never know what's going to happen.
And that, my friends, is what we call baseball.
And the stat people play the Ramones in the background, and the crowd gets pumped up.
Cannot go wrong with the Ramones.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Gators, the catcher, number 21, Jason Hare.
Jason Hare stepping to the plate.
Got a good 1-2 combo coming up right now. We got Jason Hare in the box with Jack Harris right behind. Could be a deadly combination if Hare goes ahead and puts some contact on the ball. His boy Jack Harris, the stud of San Francisco State, behind Harley Lopez with a little bit of a threat. So as we dive into this inning, see what happens.
Yeah, we're in a nice position here where, once the lineup flips over, we got the 4 of our best guys ready to take the plate. And the pitch. Did he go? He did not.
A little bit of a breeze picking up here at Maloney Field as this game dips into the 5 o'clock mark. As all San Francisco State students know, after 5 o'clock, the weather is horrible.
Count is now 1-2. Sorry, 2-1. Quick pitch. And that's a strike. Count is 2-2.
Andrew Lopez liked that one, getting the count to 2-2.
You can tell he's standing a little bit taller after throwing a nice pitch in there like that. And he's out.
Jason Hare looks at called 3 strike, walking slowly off. Does not like that one at all. I think Blue's got a little bit of a dancing batter's zone right now, but we'll see if that's the same case as Jackson Harris steps up to the box and gets ready to dig in and see if he could put his Gators on the board.
This guy's really looking to make a name for himself right now. And the pitch. And it's a little low and outside. Count is 1-0. Lopez sets. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Jack wanted all of that one, but seemed to miss it by just a half second. Unfortunate for him, but fortunate for pitcher Andrew Lopez. As he fouls that
fouled
one.
off the curve. Lands in the left field bleachers.
Zoink, Scoop. That was about 2 people away from completely hitting a fan that was not ready, and he seems to be on his laptop checking Facebook. We should tell that guy to stop updating the status and pay attention to the baseball game because he could have had a real head dinger on that one.
Plus, just for aesthetic reasons, nobody wants to see a guy on a screen at the ballpark.
No, put your phones away.
And he gets a good piece of it. It's a high fly to outfield, and the right fielder catches it and throws it in.
Can you take this half inning?
Yeah.
At the half inning, take it. I got to Jackson Critch up the bat. This is going to be inning number 11 for Jackson Critch as he played in the first game all 9 innings. Just going to go straight forward. You see a couple of these guys really digging deep and playing back-to-back doubleheaders with about only 20 minutes left, or 20 minutes in between. So see a lot of true powerhouses, just workhorses coming in right now.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good cut, though.
Count is 1-1.
Low and outside. He was lucky that wasn't a pass ball.
Dugout approved of that one as they gave your boy Jackson Critch a little bit of kudos for holding off on that.
And the 2-1 pitch is a ball.
Saw this last game. Jackson Critch likes to wait. He is a very patient in the batter's box. This season, he has 13 walks.
That's really how the game is progressing in general. We got to walk there, by the way.
Number 14.
I mean, really, what you're looking at now is a lot of guys trying to strike out, get walked, and hit home runs.
That is true. Now, a little bit of a non-person who likes to wait is Brady Dorn. Brady Dorn on the season is hitting .248 with 32 games started, 33 games played, and 121 at-bats. He's got 15 runs, 30 hits, 5 doubles, a triple, and a big dinger. He's also driven in 22 runs, and he's stolen the base a couple times as well.
You know, they should really be keeping an eye on Critch because he's got 3 stolen
There he
bases,
goes.
and he goes, and he's safe. Safe
Got
in
in
second.
time. You called that before he even left first base. Now we see a runner on second with 2 outs.
Kind of still 1-1. Lopez goes back to the stretch. Stares him down. And the pitch. And he takes it.
Freddie Dorn looking to do a repeat. If we flash back to the last time he played Chico State, he got himself a triple. Who doesn't want to have one more of those, right?
You know, in this ballpark, triple is not easy to come by.
Really got to hit it in the gap hard and fast.
And he gets a good piece of it. It's high. Will it stay
Plenty of time.
fair? It's out of bounds, and it's caught. Inning is over.
Gators get a 2-out walk. They stranded in second.
Leaving 1 batter aboard. Sorry, 1 runner aboard. And the Gators run out and take the field. You start the 4th inning with 2 runs for Chico, 0 runs for San Francisco State. 4 hits Chico, 1 for State. Chico with 0 errors, SF State with 2. And the ball goes around the horn. Looks like we're about ready to start playing.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Chico State. The catcher, number 29, Miles Moran.
Coming to the plate for Chico is number 29, Miles Moran, the catcher. Hits right, throws right. He's a senior hitting 284. Steps into the plate. Nice wide stance. And Egglight throws. And it's a strike. Low outside. Good pitch. Moran steps in. The kick and the pitch. Fouled off. And it's caught by Jason Hare.
Easy play right there for Jason Harris. He did not have to move that far. Simple, easy, and delicious.
So we can go
Has
3
to
up,
be.
3 down here.
Look back on this replay. Jason Hare just flirting around the edge of home plate. Nothing too crazy. Easy out in the right-hander's batter's box.
No out. Sorry, one
One
out.
out.
No runners aboard. And here comes Dustin Miller, the first baseman.
Dustin Miller flied out earlier in the game. Looking to not do a repeat of that. Gators hoping he repeats that.
Another goofy footer. And the kick. And fouled off on the third base side.
That one's going to go in the bushes again. That one's for the Squirrels.
Changes the pitch. And the kick. And a little high. Count
Dustin
is
Miller.
now 1-2.
Dustin Miller's got a couple positioning. He likes to play outfield and first base. Clocks in at 6 feet tall, 185. He's a senior, and his high school is a very local one. If you guys are familiar, he is from De La Salle.
Oh, no shit. Up.
And Dustin Miller strikes out on that one. That's exactly what Jordan wants. That one puts it away. 2 outs.
Where my mom lives.
All right. Digging into bat. Number 27. Eddie Zavala.
Throws right, hits right. Junior gets a good piece of that. High fly ball to center left field. And they'll get under it, and the inning will be half over.
Jack Harris easily under that one for a nice pop out. Gets the 3rd out of this inning, and the Gators head into the bottom of the 4th, looking to go and put some runs on the board. Unfortunately, they're down 2-0, but with that quick 1-2-3 inning, these boys are looking to get back and throw some runs on the board. And if you will say the boys are back in town.
Gators are still very much in this one.
As we are in between innings, let's go ahead and look at these Gators and how they're doing today. Right now, they've only got 1 hit, but they've had 2 errors in the game, so they're looking to go ahead and throw some numbers on that board.
What's the inning right now?
As we see
Top of the 4th?
number 17 step up to bat.
Leading off the
SSA had a great start.
for the Gators, the first baseman, number 17, Trevor Rogers.
And here
SSA
comes
had a
Trevor
great
Rogers.
start here today with the highest score, 12-4 over
Big first
Chico State.
baseman.
This does put us in
Bats
playoff
left.
picture here today. It'd be really interesting to see what the
Likes
outcome of this
reggae.
game is if we are going to clinch the playoff division.
Trevor Rogers.
Jennifer Rios, Gator Sports.
Oh, fuck.
Trevor Rogers, as mentioned, named the Gator of the Week for February 11th.
Yeah,
through
we had
17th,
no idea.
and February 25th through March 3rd. He actually hit the go-ahead home run in the 9th inning of Gators' victory, 9-8 versus victory at Sonoma State, which they are going to be playing tomorrow.
And out at first.
And that's just going to be a nice little ground out for Rogers out at first. Up to bat, Anton Self. Anton Self digs in, looking to get on base and get another hit in that category. As these Gators are only seeing 1 hit right now through 4 innings.
Luckily, only 1 out, too, though.
That is true. Right now would be an ideal situation as you have star teammate Harley Lopez in the batter's box. Anton Self looking to get himself on base, possibly have Harley Lopez knock him over. Get a couple runs here late in the 4th.
And it's outside. That's a ball. Count as
Anton
1 and
Self
2.
this year hitting .247 with 73 at bats, 13 runs, 18 hits, a couple of doubles, and 3 big flies.
Self has 10 walks this year.
That one seemed to tip off of Anton Self's bat and give a little bit more than the catcher of that Chico State Wildcats wanted, as Miles Moran is trying to catch his breath just a little bit. That one seemed to clip him in a place where you don't want to be clipped.
Pat Rivera taking a quick trip out to the mound. Kicks off first base.
Miles Moran not seeming to have a good time getting up. He He still is down for the count, not getting into the squad. He's kind of chilling on one knee. Looks like the personal trainer and head coach are out there to ask how he's doing, but Miles Moran is a true fighter. Says, no, coach, good to go. Get me in. I don't want to move.
You know, your team, the other team, you got to give them a hand. Stay in the game. Keep hustling. That's what it's all about.
Sometimes baseball is grueling, and that baseball, when it hits you, could feel like a 500-pound weight crushing into your body. As the fans here go ahead and cheer on Miles Moran for getting back down on the squat. You see Lopez with pitch.
1-2 pitch. And it's a ball. Lopez huffing and puffing on the mound. And the kick. And it's fouled off. Count is 2-2. 1 out.
Lopez wheeling and dealing here. Only throwing about 50 pitches through 4. Got a good stride going. Hasn't allowed a single run, only allowed 1 hit all game.
And it's low inside.
Anton Self just holds back enough strength and stamina to not pull ahead and swing at that one. Makes the count full 3-2.
Let's see if we can fight it off here.
Absolutely. Everybody in the stands is on the edge of their seats. They want to see some action.
Fouled off again. Still 3-2.
The action that all these wonderful San Francisco Gator fans have seen is foul balls. Seems to be the overwhelming trend that's going on here. So if you hashtag foul ball and show your foul ball to any of the concession stands around the area, they'll give you a free hot dog.
It's a good deal. And it's bounced to third, and it goes through the gap. He runs through first base, and he will be safe. They're into the cutoff man.
That was a great way to squeeze it in between the shortstop and third baseman as Anton Self gets it just through the gap. See their shortstop diving for it, but luckily for the Gators, it wasn't in time as Harley Lopez steps into the dig.
That kind of small ball hitting is, really what wins games and gets you to tournaments like the CCAA.
This definitely could be costly for the Wildcats right now with only 1 out, bottom of the 4th.
Steps in, lefty from the stretch. He kicks, and that'll be a strike. Fastball over the plate.
Right now, Harley Lopez batting .261, a little down from his average from 2018 when he was batting .323. But luckily for him, he has 2 more home runs with 8 this season.
And that'll be high and outside, a ball. Count as 1-1. 1 out, run around
I know
first.
along with you and me, Aaron, that a lot of these fans at the stands are looking for a big fly right now to tie this game up. Let's see if Harley Lopez can go ahead and put his boys back in the game. But
Yeah.
big dinger.
Big dinger, even a single, advance the runner. And he gets a good piece of that. It goes deep to center field, but well short of the marker. And that'll be an out.
Yeah, unfortunately, in that case and scenario, you do see Harley Lopez got a little bit underneath it. Did not get all the contact on it. Was almost a little bit out in front on that hit, which allows the center fielder Kyle Pineda to get underneath it and make that out for out number 2.
Which brings up the right-handed senior, Trevor Greenlee. Sorry, that'll be Colin Gable, also a right-handed senior.
Colin Gable, big fan of Game of Thrones, as his walk-up song is the intro theme song. You watch Game of Thrones?
I've never seen it, actually. I'm kind of waiting for it to be all over so I can start it from the beginning,
My anxiety alone is making it where I want it to be over already, too. As episode 3 was a daunting one, and that is a daunting hit.
Great piece of that. Although that, too, will be short of the astronomically far 420-foot center field fence. Chico leads the game 2-0 at the end of the 4th inning.
Gators go ahead and strand a man on base. Could not get anything happening in that bottom of the 4th inning. We head to the top of the 5th. Chico State 2, San Francisco Gators 0.
I gotta say, despite the fact that the Gators are having a little bit of trouble putting runs on the board today, they look great in those yellow uniforms.
That is true. With only about 4 innings left of baseball, what do you think the Gators need to bounce back in this game and make it a competition?
You know, I think what they really need to do is just see the ball a little better. I want to see more guys get walked. I want to see more singles. Pitching's been pretty good so far, except for the first inning, but I think, just see the ball better.
Absolutely. These Gators are just right under it every now and again. What you're seeing is they're getting big fly outs to the outfield. If they were to dip their shoulders just a bit more when they make that contact, you get a quick line drive as opposed to these big fly outs, which we've seen through the past 4 innings here.
And the later it gets, the more beautiful it also gets here at Maloney Field. The wind has picked up slightly, but the sun is completely out now. It is gorgeous.
Absolutely, Aaron. It's been an awesome day for baseball here. There has been 0 complaints from all of these students and fans and wonderful people coming out to watch this game. And also, speaking of wonderful people, we want to thank all the wonderful people from our crew. We got cameramans up top on top of each of these dugouts, big crew in the back. Thank you to all of them for putting this on as we see that first pitch get attempted to be bunted on, and that's going to be a miss for strike 1. Okay.
That's Griffin Hennessy, the right-handed junior, hitting .256. 11 walks this season.
Got a patient eye with 11 walks.
And he takes there.
That was not a time to be patient for him, though, luckily for the Gators. He gets ahead in the count. Waiting for Jordan. Gets ahead in the count. 0-2.
No outs.
Right now, what he really needs is a strikeout. Get these boys rolling.
And it's low.
Jordan really wanted that strike. Threw it in almost the exact same position. Hey, there's our cameraman.
Hey,
Hey, shout out there.
we know that guy.
I know him.
And the kick. And a swing and a miss. He is out. 1 out.
Big swing and a miss from Hennessy as Jordan Lee does exactly what he needs to do and strike out that first batter, get you that dominance, and go ahead and establish the scene for this inning as he wants to go and prove that his Gators can come back and bounce back in this game.
Third baseman Jorge Perez stepping into the box, hitting 9th with a .252 average. Foul tip. Count is 0-1.
Just a bit shy from being on that ball, but looking for the Gators. Foul tips back, hits Blue in the chest, and Blue gives the hand signal. He's A-okay.
It's interesting to see a corner infielder hitting last in the lineup with a .250 batting average. Don't see that too often.
What I've been noticing with this Chico State lineup is that a lot of their pitchers do not bat. In fact, they actually have a designated hitter.
And the pitch. Fouled it off, a little high.
Jorge Perez right on that one, just getting a small piece of the cake and staying alive. But right now he's behind in the count, 0-2.
And that's what we like to see around here.
Absolutely.
And the pitch. In the dirt.
That's
away
one
from
that
him.
Jordan Egley likes to throw in an 0-2 count, see if he can get that batter to do a nice little Tiger Woods golf swing, getting a sweet, easy out. But on that one, it was a no-bite zone.
See if he shows him the low pitch here. And the kick.
Jorge Perez just hacking away, trying to stay alive in this one. Does not want to be the second out.
It's been a 10 pitch at bats, but only a 10 pitch at bat, but only 3 of them made it on the board. And Eglite kicks, and the pitch in the dirt again. Count is now 2-2.
Jordan Eglite, no, he's got a little bit of wiggle room to play around as no one's on base. He's able to go out to the full stretch and throw someone down in the dirt, see if he can get him chasing, as opposed to blowing a fastball right by him. We'll see what he does here.
Is that a wooden bat I see Perez with? Oh, he gets a good piece of it right over the first baseman into right field. That'll be a bloop single.
That one definitely did not sound like a wooden bat. That one has the look of a wood, but to my knowledge, that is actually going to be aluminum.
Interesting. And a visit to the mound. Egglight's confidence is clearly rattled a little bit. We'll see if they keep him in the game.
We see Tony Schifino going out to chat with him. Doesn't look like there might be a scenario where he's going to pull him. More so talking to the catcher, Jason Hare, to figure out what exactly they're going to do for the next couple at bats. Kind of strategizing, seeing if they can get a nice double play ball as the mound visit breaks up.
Which is interesting because neither of the runs from the first inning were earned.
Yeah, absolutely, which is kind of unfortunate for Jordan. It kind of puts him in a little bit of a funk. This game should be 0-0 right now, but if it wasn't for those two unfortunate freebies, this game would be tied up.
Back to the mound, stays in the game. Throws back to first. Quick pitch. Perez is 1 for 2 for steals this year. And the count is 0-0. Throws back to first again. Still safe.
Looks like Tony Schifino wanted to make sure that, number one, Perez stays on that bag. You do not want to give Perez a big lead as he has some quick wheels underneath his feet.
And the pitch. High and inside.
Counts 1-0.
Ooh, foul tip right into the glove.
Navarro just gets a little bit of juice on that one, but it's not enough. If that was a 2-strike scenario, that would have been a nice out, but luckily for Navarro, he gets another swing, another pitch, another opportunity to get his boy, Jorge Perez, around the bags.
And the pitch gets a good piece of it right into the glove of the third baseman.
That was a laser right to Anton Self, who did not have to move his glove at all. Caught it right at the letters for out number 2. And it's just a cannon as we look back at the replay. Anton Self not even having to flinch.
Cannon or a rifle or a shotgun or something. Blasted it.
That's an easy one for Anton Self. He does those in his sleep. In fact, he wakes up in the morning for breakfast and just gets line drives in his room. So he's ready all the time.
And the kick. Big swing. And he misses. Little fastball.
Not sure if that was the breeze or the swing of his bat, but it definitely felt a little bit of whoosh coming this way. He wanted to get on that one, but unfortunately, Jordan Elite was just a little bit ahead on that one.
And a high take.
Jason Hare doing a little bit of a peep over to first. Keep quick runner, Speedy Gonzalez, Jorge Perez on base. Do not want him to get into scoring position.
Still 2 outs, 1-1.
Decent lead from Perez.
And he sets. And the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Hacks. Throwing up juicy fastballs right now. Jordan Elite. He is wheeling, dealing. He definitely ain't third wheel.
Pineda's really feeling the pressure here. Trying to get all he can out of it. And the pitch in the dirt. And the runner will take second.
That's just an unfortunate pass ball by Jason Hare right there as it gets right through the center of his legs, reaches the backstop, and that, my friends, is an easy bagger for base runner Jorge Perez.
Well, with the double play opportunity now broken up, let's see if they can Got a strikeout here.
Really don't need a double play opportunity. There's 2 outs in the inning.
Oh,
Looking for the strikeout right now. You just don't want that runner in scoring position. And he gets the strikeout. That a babe. Jordan Elite goes ahead and gets out of that jam with that pass ball. Shuts down those Wildcats. And now we go into the bottom of the 5th. The score is 2-0 Wildcats. As we head into the bottom of the 5th, we'd like to remind our fans and friends and family to follow all of our social media accounts for the SF State Gators. Get your phones out, get your Instagrams ready, get that search bar open because I'm going to fire this Instagram name right at you. It is SF_Gators. That's SF_Gators for all of your social media needs. That title is across all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Again, that's at SF State_Gators. Throw a follow.
and with the game more than halfway over now, Chico State is still up by 2.
Yeah, those 2 runs in the first inning proven to be a little costly for these Gators right now as they haven't been able to get any hits since the 3rd inning.
Trevor Greenlee steps up to the plate.
Trevor Greenlee having himself a little bit of a year. He's hitting .321 with 28 at-bats, 4 runs, 9 hits, a double, and 2 big flies, along with 4 ribs.
The right-handed batter steps into the plate. And the pitch. That's a strike. A little on the low side.
Seeing a lot of called strikes from Blue right now. Might possibly have a Friday night date with a beautiful lad. Could be he wants to go home early.
Hey, I mean, after you call 18 innings, or I guess at this point, 14 innings of baseball, sometimes you just got to go home.
He forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer to defrost it later. And if he doesn't do that, his mom will be very angry because dinner won't be ready.
You know, it's not easy to cohabitate with other people. Sometimes,
You talking about moms?
moms, roommates, and low and outside pitch.
That is true. You do see a large amount of umpires living with other people, as that job is not sustainable for a future in California.
Also, you know, you're working crazy hours. It's hard to maintain a relationship, you know. And skied fly high.
This one's going to go into the trees where there's an innocent bystander chilling. He does not seem to be very interested in that baseball souvenir, as he already has 14 from the game before.
As Janis Joplin once said, freedom is nothing left to lose.
Great speaker.
And he gets a great piece of that one. Center left field, but they get under it. Oh!
And it gets by him. He's going to 3.
Wow, a stand-up triple.
That right there is a costly error by the Chico State Wildcats. Number 11, Cody Whistler, got under that one, but it seemed to have trailed just a little bit as he was out by that SF State banner. He thought he had it, thought he was underneath it, but it hit just the tip of his glove, which allowed number 25, Trevor Greenlee, to stand up safe at third. So now we have a man on third with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
The sun is brutally oppressive there in left field.
Absolutely. I'm feeling it on my neck right now. I can only imagine what he's seeing right there in left field. We're going to have a pinch running change as number 2, Jonah Gonzalez, is going to pinch run for 25, Trevor Greenlee. Jonah Gonzalez was in last game playing left field, and as we've seen, Jonah Gonzalez has some wheels underneath him. It's a natural car dealership because he is speeding on out there. Jason Hare takes that one for a high ball. Count is 1-0.
You know, fun fact about Jonah Gonzalez, he's a high school teammate of star player Jack Harris at Aptos High.
No way. Also, fun fact about Jonah Gonzalez, I had multiple classes with him at community college of San Mateo. Fact,
Wow.
He sat behind me in math. We actually had a couple of group projects in our history class. So it's good to see that we've reconnected here down at San Francisco State. Well, I'm on this side of the booth, and he's on that side of the field. So go Jonah. We're here for you.
And the count is 2-1, no outs.
Backdoor breaking curveball doesn't stick in there. A little outside for Blues Lycan, and that one is a called ball as Andrew Lopez looks to not allow that runner to score.
He gets a good piece of that one right up through second base gap. And he will take first. So we got a runner on first.
And just like that, with the hit of Jason Hare up the center, we see the San Francisco Gators on the board for the first time in the game. We're going to go ahead and look back at this play right here. Jason Hare up in the box, gets the pitch, delivers it right past the legs of Andrew Lopez, up the middle. And since Jonah Gonzalez was on third base, that means that the San Francisco Gators are on the board. Bada babe, Jonah Gonzalez.
Excellent piece
Jason
of hitting
Hare.
there. Excellent.
Kudos on both. Up to bat, Jack Harris.
And low outside ball.
Way outside. If that wasn't up to the catcher, that could have been a pass ball. He really had to dive out of his comfort zone to keep that one in play.
Jack Hare with no stolen bases, but also no attempts this season. Hence the short lead off first. And swing, and he gets a good piece of it. Bobbled to second. He's out. First, doesn't catch it. He's safe.
The throw from the second baseman, wide up.
Oh, do we have an override of the play?
We're getting a little bit of chatter from these Gators right now, as they do not think that any of these plays were correct. Hare thought he was safe at second. Harris also thought he was safe at first. We're gonna go ahead and have a little chit chat.
You better be careful, though. They have a pretty short leash for players here.
Absolutely. We saw last game we saw a fan get tossed out. These umpires are daunting, and they are cutthroat. Let's look back at this play right here as second shortstop fields it high up into his shoulder, throws it, and Jason Harris saying that his foot was off the bag. That's going to be the argument right there. And it looks like Jack Harris is also out at first. So that is a costly double play for the Gators right now, looking to tack onto that one run that they just scored this game. But
that really crushes their momentum.
That was a real bummer.
Foul ball.
You know who doesn't think that's a bummer? Andrew Lopez.
Oh. Probably not. And the pitch. Right in there for a strike. A little off-speed action there.
Yeah, try to keep the batter on his toes. Try not to have him sit back in the box. Trying to get him on front. See if he can get a little ground ball to get out of this inning. Only one run.
That ball had a little bit of action on it as well.
Lopez throwing a little bit of movement late in the game. Could be with all of these used balls. There's some skids, some rough marks. Give him a little bit more momentum.
Fouled off. Into the stands.
Another souvenir over there in the tennis courts. No one was injured on that play. No one's actually been injured the entire game, which is very fortunate for everyone and the fans alike, as there has been 90,000 fly balls in this baseball game.
And the inning is over.
He's going to squeeze by for a strikeout. Lopez gets out of that inning with a very, very lucky double play. A little bit of controversy in the middle with calls, as Tony, head coach for the Gators, did not think that was it. But to the luck of these Chico State Wildcats, they get out of that inning only allowing one run. Score right now is Chico State 2, San Francisco State Gators 1. We're heading to the top of the sixth.
And we got a new pitcher here for the Gators. It is number 8, Hudson Hartley, junior right-hander.
Hudson Hartley coming out of Bakersfield, California. He's majoring in communication studies. Before San Francisco State, he attended Bakersfield College from 2015 to 2018, where he completed for 2 seasons and a redshirt for 1 season. He's a 3-time Western State Conference Scholar athlete. He was named Western State Conference All-Conference in 2006 and Most Valuable Pitcher. He lettered at Garces Memorial High School, and in 2015 was team captain, co-MVP, and Cal High Sport All-State First Team, All-Valley First Team, BV All-First Team, and SWYL All-League First Team, and even earned Jockey Club Award. This man has got a lot of medals and papers on his wall. He is an overall great player. San Francisco State is happy to have him. And last time he pitched against Chico State back in February, he went an inning pitch. He allowed 3 hits and only 1 earned run. Right now his ERA is just a shade high over 10. So he's looking to get those numbers down and try and keep these Gators in it here by not allowing any runs. One thing that the Gators do not need right now is runs on the board. But luckily for them, they haven't allowed any since the first inning. San Francisco has been really adamant about their people on base to not allow them to cross that plate. There's been a lot of scenarios where there's been men on base, and these Gators have dug deep and gotten out of those tough binds. So right now we're going to head behind Hudson Hartley, number 8 on the mound, and see if we can go ahead and keep this run lead to 1.
I'm curious as to why they didn't score that last outfield drop as an error.
That is true. I'm wondering the same thing as well. We're going to go to our booth after, to our good friends over behind home plate, and see what they say. We will get you the accurate answer of that later in this game. Right now, we dive in to some baseball here at Maloney Field. Hudson Hartley against Cody Weisler. Here we go.
Cody Weisler, of course, the Wildcats star player this year. Great power hitter. And he takes the ball.
Cody Weisler is just a powerhouse playing this second game in a row. He played all game last year. He takes that one in for a strike. Cody Weisler, the outfielder, that dropped that big fly ball, which allowed the run to score. Joe Gonzalez came across in the last inning as a pinch hitter. Put him on the board. So we have an error from Cody Weisler in the field. Hopefully we can get an error from Cody Weisler in the batting box.
Hudson Hartley looking pretty good out there. He's a little bit smaller of a body type than Egg-Light, but he still has some heat. Packs a bit of a punch. Kind of got more of a Tim Lincecum look and feel.
A little bit. Got the hair going. He's got the long stride. Decent kick as he throws that one in there for strike number 2. Count is full, 3-2.
Right down the middle.
Absolutely. That's where you want to throw that ball. Challenge that batter. That's when you put the ball in your hand and you say, here, try and hit this, buddy.
And the kick. And a swing and a miss. He's out. That'll be 1 out.
Heard the sound of that bat from that one. It gave a sound like this. Whoosh. As no baseball made contact with that bat today. But we got Hudson Hartley looking to see what he can do against Alex DeVito, the absolute animal of the Chico State Wildcats, as he digs into the box and sees what he can do against new pitcher Hartley.
And pitch. And he gets a good piece of it right between the first and second baseman into right field.
1 pitch, 1 hit for Alex DeVito. Did not even hesitate to see that one go through as that squeaked by number 4, second baseman.
Jackson you see something you like, you got to pull the trigger.
Absolutely. And Alex DeVito all season has been known to do that. His stats show his batting average is always above 300, including today, where his batting average is at a 348.
Miles Moran stepping into the plate. Miles was the subject of the injury timeout last inning. And pitch. Fouled it off.
That foul ball right there is number 876 for today. A record number amount of foul balls and a record number amount of baseballs used this entire game, as all of these San Francisco State players have been trying to find them. We are running low on baseballs, so if you guys have any baseballs, send them down here because they are.
Fun
all
fact about
serious.
San Francisco State University, they are the biggest user of baseballs in all of the Western Division II conferences.
Yeah, actually, in fact, last game there was a 20-minute delay because all the baseballs were used, and they had to go to Big Five Sporting Goods to get some more baseballs, and it took a little bit of time more than they wanted to because Target and Nordstrom did not have any in the Stonestown Mall, which they first went to. Not a poor choice.
And pitch. Little low, little outside.
Hudson Hartley trying to get out of this miniature jam right now. DeVito not known to have a lot of speed on the base paths, but not want to see him get advanced.
And he gets a good piece of that off the end of its bat, and it's going to squeak into left center field. And there will be a throw to third, but he'll hit the cutoff man. Runners will advance to second and third. And here comes Dustin Miller, the lefty first baseman.
Number 25, Dustin Miller.
Just one out. Two runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that was some good contact by Miles Moran. Doesn't look like he's too shooken up after that thing as we look back and see exactly where it dove into. He hits this one straight into the gapper. Takes a nice little one hop as he snags it right before the line, throws it in to keep that Alex DeVito at third. But luckily for Miles Moran, that's a nice stand-up double.
That must have been rough on his hands.
Absolutely. But catcher's hands are like dinosaur scales. They do not get rough. They just have a different breed. It's like I can't explain it.
Well, yeah, it's what they call the intangibles, as you hear in the football trades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the measurables?
Tangibles.
And pitch. Way high.
Up to bat, Dustin Miller plays a couple positions, outfield and first base. He's a senior, and he's majoring in communications.
Luckily for Hartley here, with both these runners in scoring position and him being a lefty, it should be really easy for him to monitor their leads. Oh, he gets a big piece of it, and it's going, and it's deep into right field. It'll be caught.
Here comes the throw. And despite DeVito's big posture and everybody, he decides to get across home plate and make it a 3-1 lead for the Chico State Wildcats.
And Hudson Hartley looks slightly rattled.
Yeah, that's something that Hudson Hartley did not want to do, was get it out well beyond the tag-up range. He knew that having a big boy like Alex DeVito on third would give him a little bit of time, so if he just kept it a little closer, it could have held that man or even possibly thrown him out at home. But luckily for the Wildcats, that ball was just a couple steps shy of the warning track, which allowed DeVito to slowly jog, or as he would say, sprint home.
I think you could safely call that a saunter.
Yeah. Talked with Alex DeVito before the game, and his definition of sprint and jog are completely off.
Oh, he gets a good piece of that one, but it'll be a little bit
This
shallow.
one's trouble.
Will it drop? Oh,
But
great.
Jackson Krish is there for the catch.
That was an excellent catch.
Absolutely. He saw that ball the entire way through. That took a weird little curve, almost like a nice slice in a golf ball. But he went ahead and kept his eye on the ball and got that out and got them out of the inning with only one run earned.
Heading into the bottom of the sixth inning, it is 3-1 Chico.
Right now, bottom six, Chico State Wildcats 3, San Francisco Gators 1. Gators looking to bounce back this inning as allowing one run, making that deficit now to 2. Lopez still on the mound. Doesn't look like there's going to be any change anytime soon, as that Chico State bullpen is catching some cobwebs as no one's been moving around in there since the top of the 8th last inning. My co-host Aaron steps out to take a breath of fresh air. It'll just be me for the next couple of minutes, so hope you enjoy the soothing sounds of my voice. For those of you who don't just tuning in, I'm Michael Schwint. We are here at Mushu. Nope, we're not here at Mushu. We are we're here at the Maloney Field. My apologies.
I don't know.
Maloney's, very similar to bologna. Bologna, in fact, was created as a cheap substitute for food back in the 1920s during the Great Depression. In fact, bologna was the favorite food of President Carter. And before bologna, it wasn't even used in sandwiches. It was used to heal wounds, similar to a Band-Aid. That's why people always call bologna Band-Aids. Fortunately for me, I call it lunch. Right now we got shortstop number 14, Brady Dorn up to bat, looking to make some contact, make some noise, get these Gators back in the game. Fortunately today he's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, and he accidentally left somebody on base last time he was at bat. So he's looking to redeem himself for this round as he wants to get a hit. We see that ball. It's going to be delivered low for a strike. We're seeing a lot of low strikes from Blue right now as this game gets late into the 6th. Score 3. Chico, 1 for Gators. That ball is hit past the shortstop, and that's going to be a nice leadoff single for Braid. Everybody loves to see Brady hit a nice single, and you hear a lot of claps and cheers from that Gators dugout and bullpen. So they're happy to see him right there getting on base. Next up is first baseman number 17, Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers also 0 for 2 today. So let's see if he can go ahead and follow the footsteps of his teammate Brady and go ahead and get on base. Kind of end that 0-2 skid that he's been slipping in right now. Not seeing a high at bats for these Gators today, as we saw in the last game. Last game, if you weren't tuning in, Gators beat Chico State Wildcats 12-4. But unfortunately, right now they're losing by 2. And that ball is hit way out. This ball has got some drive. This one's going to hit the wall, and it is caught. Got Brady Dorn coming back to first. But man, did Trevor Rogers smoke that thing. If it wasn't for Cody Whistler to get on that ball, that could have been trouble and then some. But luckily for the Chico State Wildcats, my apologies, that is not Cody Whistler. Luckily for number 9 out there, that ball landed in his glove and not on the warning track. So good for them. Unfortunate slip up for the Gators, but that's only 1 out. That means there's 2 more outs left in the inning. We see that in there for a called strike. We got Anton Self up. Anton Self's been known to be a very patient hitter. But right now finds himself in an 0-2 count. As he watched both of those strikes go by, did not like either one of them. So right now he's got a little bit of a hole to get himself out of. We're going to see what he can do with this little bit of predicament he's gotten himself into. Andrew Lopez gets the sign. This weird stance, throws it high for a ball. Anton Self learning to be a little bit patient, even in an 0-2 count, where batters tend to be a little bit more on the anti side. Anton Self goes ahead and takes a deep breath and says, I got this. This ain't my first rodeo, boys. I'm going to get some runs on the board. Lopez with the delivery. Fouled away. I did let's make a deal way back today. Yeah.
Count is 1 and 2. 1 out. Runner on first base. From the stretch.
Back in the booth is Aaron. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm good. Got a little air.
There we go, Tony.
For those who don't see, normally we've been sitting down the whole game, but we're a little bit on our feet right now because we want to see these Gators kind of make some noise and get a couple runs on the board. With only one out here in the bottom of the 6, counts 2-2.
I'm feeling the energy. How about you, Mike?
I am feeling it right now. Everybody here on the edge of their seats. Snap ball's popped into the infield.
Sliced.
First baseman calls it off. That's an easy out for Chico State.
2 outs.
2 outs here is Jack Harris. Comes up to bat. Nope.
Number 13, Harley Lopez.
My apologies. That is 13, Harley Lopez. That 3 kind of looked like a 1, so I do apologize to the listeners for that one. Harley Lopez, player of the week for the Gators, looking to go ahead and get out of this little bit of a slump that he's been having. He's kind of only had 1 hit this game. Nice single back in the 3rd, but definitely looking to make a difference here. In the bottom of the 6th. Takes that one.
And that's a strike.
Strike 1.
Harley Lopez, lefty.
There we go, Hart.
Lopez from Bakersfield, California, studying in criminal justice.
Good.
High outside take.
He's looking to lay down the law right now and get a couple dingers in there. Gators down 2 runs in this game here in the bottom of the 6th.
2 outs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh, there we go, 1-3.
Before San Francisco State, Harley was at Bakersfield College where he played 2 seasons.
Good.
Harley takes that one outside for a ball. Harley's a
And
very patient batter in that box. What did you say?
I would say so. He's got a good eye. Also,
There we go,
I
Hart.
don't know if you noticed, but we have a right-handed pitcher warming up in the Chico bullpen.
Chico's bullpen brushing off the cobwebs, kicking the spiders to the side, see if they might need someone to come in after Lopez.
He reached for that one. 2-2.
Got this, bud. Come on, Hart. Battle, baby, battle.
Harley Lopez getting a couple pep talks from the fans and dugout,
Oh, no,
trying to keep his
1-3.
head in the game after that
Here we go, big.
disgusting
And-
swing and a miss.
We have our first celebrity appearance of the game. We've got Wavy Gravy on the third base side bleachers.
Is that Wavy over there? Get out of town. Wavy Gravy back in the day used to wail at all the concerts. I can't believe he's making an appearance here at a San Francisco State baseball game. Who told him we were playing?
Chico State on top.
You know, he must have been on all of our social media accounts because we definitely made sure that all the accounts were broadcast there. And if you don't know, it's at SF State_Gators. So if you follow all of us on there, follow the websites, you can hear us live, see us live, follow action through Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So tune into those and you can hear all of that as Wavy Gravy over there in the third baseline did, and he is now here. Thanks for coming out today, Wavy Gravy.
Much appreciated. Maybe you can get me some Dead and Company tickets.
Maybe first baseline could get a little bit of footage on Wavy Gravy. He's the nice gentleman in the tie-dye shirt over on the third baseline. Here we go.
Oh, that's him.
Wavy Gravy live in the flesh. Look at that hair. I don't know if he wants to be seen today or not. He's got a lot of tie-dye on top, but camo pants. So he's a little bit in a conflict of he wants to be noticed and he doesn't want to be noticed.
See, I think he doesn't want to be noticed because he's got his hair up in the ponytail.
Classic Harley. Classic. That's just how he is.
Also, no top hat today.
Yeah, that's true. He left all of his gear at home, too. Normally he travels with a lot of gear, a lot of things that make noise, those rattling things that spin around. You know what I'm talking about. He's a really big distraction. But I think he's being a little bit incognito today here in the second game of this doubleheader at Maloney Field.
Maybe he could burn some sage, bring some good vibes. Well, he's bringing the good vibes
talk
anyway.
to the Wildcats as number 42 Hennessy gets in the bat. He's been known to do that. He's been known to give words of inspiration to players on Chico State. He's a man of many wisdoms and many great things. So we dig in here to the top of the 7.
New pitcher for State. It is number 30, Nate Jenkins.
Nate Jenkins, 6'4", right-handed pitcher out of Concord, California.
My
Majored in
hometown.
communications. Before San Francisco State, he played 2017 and 2018 seasons at DVC. As a sophomore, threw over 70.2 innings over 13 games. Posted a 2-3 record and 1 save. That one's popped up for the shortstop.
All I got to say is go Vikings.
Roger that. Brady Dorn gets right under that and puts it away for out number 1.
Number 1, Jorge Perez.
Jorge Perez up to bat. Last time we saw him in the innings, he got a nice leadoff single. Was stranded there until he got a pass ball, which allowed him on second. But luckily for the Gators, they got out of that jam and didn't allow him to score home.
Yeah, that was a close one.
Too close.
Too close. And the pitch. Low, but still a strike.
Good location right there for that pitch. That's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to establish the strike zone low, down and in, and he gets that first strike.
I think it's interesting that SF State made a pretty big change in hitters in terms of, oh,
Ball is ding down the line, but foul.
SF State went from a tall, over 6-foot power pitcher down to a shorter pitcher and made the transition back to another power pitcher. We'll see how this works for him.
Gets thrown into the dugout, but that means that he gets a fresh pearl.
Count his own, too. 1 out. And
Ouch.
a bounce and a pass ball.
That one heard it from here. Bounced off the forearm of Jason Hare, catcher. Made a ugly smack. Looks like he's shaking the inside of his wrist. That one.
He's not happy, but he's toughing it out.
Yeah, all catchers are pretty tough. Not saying that all the other players on the field aren't tough, but right now Jason Hare is putting in work, being in the squat, taking balls.
If you think about it, it's actually been kind of a rough game for pitchers all day today. Or sorry, catchers all day today.
Yeah, definitely. Both sides of the plate.
And it's a take.
That one just a bit low. Ooh, man, he wanted that one so bad.
Count is 2-2. 1 out. And the pitch. High fly ball down the right field side.
Lots of work.
Oh,
Out of time.
Lost it in the sun.
Fortunately, number 17, Trevor Rogers, did have the beeline on that, but was a half of step shy as he floats out that glove right at the last minute. Just doesn't get it. So right now, number 1, Perez, lives to bat another day.
Staying alive, they say.
Like the very classic song by the Bee Gees, Staying Alive.
Think the Bee Gees would have been good baseball players?
Absolutely. The Bee Gees invented being baseball players. The term staying alive from 1977 is the big theme song of them.
What?
This one is slow tap to third, thrown over to first, and that is in time for out number 2. Perez not happy about that call, but Blue is stern on that to keep that one an out. Going to go ahead and call that a thank you for earlier. As there was a minor controversial play between the Gators on the offensive side. So with that call, Perez is retired for the evening. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Gotcha. All right, we got number 3 digging in here for the Chico. Navarro hits it out to the outfield for Harley Lopez. Harley Lopez gets a nice, easy one hopper, throws it in, and with that, see a nice base hit.
And here comes Cody Weisler again. Sorry, new player. This
Great pitch there by Nate Jenkins to get it right in there for a called strike, get ahead in the count. Count is 0-1. Nate Jenkins looking to make it 0-2 right here. With 2 outs, he doesn't really have to worry about the ground play ball, but what he does want to do is get it easy out for the Gators. Runner goes, Hare throws, not in time. Hare's throw was pretty good, but unfortunately it took a weird hop, and number 4 could not get it.
This field really needs a lot of TLC in the offseason, would you say?
Yeah, they did upgrades in 2017, but from the looks of it, these balls are taking really awkward hops down there on the borderline between the infield grass and that first line in the dirt. Almost seems to be sort of a lip action going on. We see a lot of weird spins, a lot of kind of bounces that are a lot higher than players are expecting. Could be that the infield grass is a lot faster than the outfield grass due to the weird shape of this field, as this is in basically a bowl. But
essentially,
who knows? It's the ball's had a mind of its own today, that's for sure, and we're seeing that a lot here.
A lot of factors.
With the sun going down here at Maloney Field, you're getting a couple of cast shadows. Luckily for us in the booth, we are not in the sun anymore.
And that's a swing and a miss. And the top of the inning is over. We now go to...
Nicely done by Nate Jenkins.
Going to the bottom of the 7th. Chico State 3, San Francisco State 1.
As we dive into the 7th inning stretch, let's go ahead and look back on the history of the 7th inning stretch. It's a time where fans are going to get up and stretch their arms out and walk around, possibly get a hot dog or a soda pop. There's the classic singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game that everybody loves. Sometimes in minor league games, you hear there's a 5th inning stretch because those games do not go all 9 innings. But this game right here is going all 9, baby, and we are going to go ahead and play it all out. Got it?
So when you want, then the cue.
Report in 1860.
It'll be really
Hey, we're here
interesting
with
to see
Jennifer.
where SF State goes from here. We are still in playoff picture right now. We get to see what the. Okay. Yeah. Just cut it. That was weird. We're out.
Leading on
We didn't have enough.
for
We didn't have
That was Jennifer. We're back in the booth.
Colin Gable coming into the game. He's a right-handed hitter. Big body. And of course, the Game of Thrones song as his walk-up.
Seems to strike me as more of a Team Stark family as opposed to the Lannisters. Looking, coming out fighting on that one as he swings that one out foul for a first pitch strike. Just on that one, gets a little inch of his baseball bat under there, but that one is a foul tip for strike number 2.
Colin's got a 333 on base percentage this season. Just getting on whether by a hit or a walk every third time he steps into the box.
Lopez definitely wanted that one to be a called strike for an easy 1-2-3, but luckily for Colin Gable, he gets to live another day.
And he gets a good piece of that one. Left center field, coming in a little bit, and it'll be caught.
Kyle Pineda calling that one all the way through, did not have any hesitation. He saw that right off the bat. And that is a 4-pitch at bat for Colin here. And that's a 1-out here in the bottom of the 7th for Chico State.
Jonah Gonzalez is the substitute this inning as the designated hitter. And that'll be a strike. Steps back into the box. Nice upright stance. The kick and the pitch. And it'll be a little high. Count is now 1-1. 1 out.
Yeah.
Lopez kicks and the pitch.
Popped up. It's going to be a little pop-up dance for shortstop JT Navarro, but really has to move a couple steps to put that one away.
Still the fight off the sun, though.
That is true. Despite the sun going down, there is a little bit of kind of wonkiness when it gets up into the sky. Luckily for JT Navarro, didn't really have too much trouble with that as he puts away number 2, Jonah Gonzalez.
Fun fact, the sun is the biggest object in our solar system.
You don't say.
It is.
Now, some say that the sun is just an artificial constructed item because the Earth does not revolve around it. What do you think about that?
Depends on your opinions about the moon. And a real good piece of that
Speaking of moon, this one's a moonshot out to center field. But luckily for Chico State, number 21, Kyle Pineda puts that one away. Gators a little bit frustrated after that inning. Lots of big contact on it, but not so much action. As we go into the top of the 8th here. Chico State Wildcats 3, San Francisco Gators 1.
Where do we go from here?
The only way to go from here is up. As you can see, we're down 2 runs right now. Hits, not too bad, but those 2 errors, very costly for the Gators in this game. Gators looking to try and do a repeat of what they did on February 24th when they won the first game 10-9, and then they also won the second game 5-4. So luckily for them, they still get 2 more innings. They still have 6 outs left until they're done playing baseball. And just like in every game of baseball, it ain't over until blue behind home plate calls it. So all the fans here are going to wait for that to happen. Gators are going to look to do a quick 1-2-3 inning here, and we're going to see how this plays out in the bottom half of this game.
You know, despite losing one of those games or both of those games on February 24th, the Wildcats had the most RBIs in the CCAA in one day that day with 10.
That was impressive, I must say. I definitely looked that over. I was quite amazed. Back to Mr. G over there.
Hey, Wavy.
Getting down to Wavy. Wavy. Say hey, Wavy. All right.
Anything?
Wavy Gravy earlier in the inning went ahead and put a selection request in to have Shake Your Money Maker being played on, and he's really moving and grooving right now with that. That's his favorite song. Went and talked to Wavy Gravy earlier before the game, and he said that if he had a walk-up song, it would definitely Shake Your Money Maker. Thanks for that, Wavy. That was a great song. And we're back.
Top of the 8th.
Nate Jenkins pitcher for the Gators. Nate can throw his 15th pitch of the game. And that one is swung on. Hit to the shortstop. Dorn. Dorn throws it to Rogers, and Rogers misses it. And that allows Olsen to go ahead and get a free bag to second. We were just talking about this earlier with the balls and the spin and how that's been really costly effective for the Wildcats, but a problem for these Gators. So that one slides by, and instead of getting an out, that's a double.
I mean, that's been the problem with all these rainouts, reschedules, and playing games on neutral grounds. You don't really ever get to learn the nuances of the place that is your home.
Absolutely, your field has character. It's got pizzazz. It's got a little bit of funk, a little bit of spunk, and these players don't play on this field. They're not going to know all the right motions to hit. They're not going to know all of the dings and dents. This thing is like a '89 Corolla, and they're just trying to get it across country. A little bit of pause time right here for Alex DeVito, head coach of the Wildcats, goes ahead, and head coach of the Wildcats, Dave Taylor, gives him a little bit of pep talk, telling him to keep his head down in the game, drive that run in. These Wildcats are looking ahead, get 1 run on the board.
Alex, of course, the big designated hitter for Chico, hitting 284 as a senior.
Big Tonka truck. And he goes
Chick
around
swing.
for strike one. DeVito didn't think he went around, but the entire Gators dugout chanted in unison, swing! As Blue went ahead and agreed with them, he went around, count his own 1.
And another pitcher warming up in the Chico bullpen.
Getting a little bit of stretch on. Not tossing the pearl just yet, but we might see a new pitcher as Lopez is entering the end of this game. Lopez has thrown a lot of baseballs today.
Yeah, it's not often you see a starting pitcher go 7 innings in a Division II game.
That is true. Head coach of the Gators, telling Jenkins, that he's got to keep that runner in check. He's got to keep Turner Olsen on second, because on that last one, he was almost halfway down to third before the ball was released. See that look?
Fly high on the first base side.
Chance for Rogers to redeem himself.
And it'll bounce out. Count is 1-2. A few words of encouragement from the Chico bench.
Definitely a few words of encouragement from the Gators bench to Rogers, as he was just about outside to get that one.
Long stare down here. Pitcher sets.
Takes a look back.
Good piece. Very foul, though.
Capital F foul.
Count still 1-2. Son.
Pops him up. Chris calls everybody off. Catches it there for out number 2. 1.
Number 29, Miles Moran.
Miles Moran.
As we look back at that little replay right there, you're going to see Nate Jenkins throw it down just a little bit, so front foot is out, pops it up to Jackson Kearse, who calls everyone off, and a nice, easy catch for him a little bit on the infield.
And he sets. Big lead for the runner off second. Count 0-1. Moran, of course, subject of an injury timeout earlier.
Looking around the stands, still a packed house, as these Gator fans are relentless. That ball is hit deep into the gap, but luckily for us, Colin Gable is in between, throws the third with a cannon. Not in time.
Great throw, though.
That was fantastic. Just a half a foot off, but with the tag from Olsen, he's in there at third, safe and sound. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
Of course, a runner in scoring position. Very dangerous proposition for these SF State Gators.
Yeah, it's up to the Gators and Jenkins right now to keep that guy on third. Make sure he doesn't score across. You do not want another run. That's just one more thing you got to do in the next inning.
And he pulls off the rubber, although this time it won't be called as a balk.
In the future, Dustin Miller wants to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Interesting.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Count as 1-0. 2 outs. Runner on third. Dustin Miller at the plate. Left-handed batter. Hitting 304 as a senior. And the pitch is fouled.
Ball still kept inside. Was able to bounce across the fences. Not one of those ones we've been seeing all game when they're been spraying the bushes and the tennis courts left and right. Just gets on it just a bit, but not enough to put it into play. Nate Jenkins gets the sign that he likes, and he delivers.
In
Low.
the dirt. And a visit to the mound.
Jason Hare is going to have a little chit chat with Nate Jenkins, make sure that they're on the same page for the next couple of these pitches. You do not want a little miscommunication here, especially with a man on third. You got 2 outs, and Jason's out there talking to his boy Nate to make sure that everything's A-okay. We're on the same page, and we're going to go ahead and strike this guy out.
You don't want to get behind, this close of a game, this late in a game with a runner on third. It's asking for trouble.
Absolutely.
Kick and the pitch. Right down the middle.
Like that. That's why Jason went out and talked to Nate. Hey, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and toss this one right over. Give me one of them nice curly fry curveballs. That's exactly what happened.
Big lead off third.
No one's there holding him back.
Good save from the junior year catcher, Jason Hare.
Nate Jenkins was looking to do a nice little backdoor curveball on that, see if he can go ahead and slide that one in, but that one seemed to miss just a bit low. Quickly, Jason's like, I got you. Went ahead and made sure that ball did not get by him.
Fought that one off.
This one's in the bushes for the Squirrels. A lot of baseballs here today. Lots of souvenirs. After the game, there will be a baseball scavenging hunt. So if you participate in it and bring a minimum of 5 baseballs to the dugout after the game, you go ahead and get yourself a bag of sunflower seeds, courtesy of San Francisco Baseball.
Bell tip. And that's a strike 3. Midway through the 8th inning, the Wildcats are up 3-1. Gators are pumped up out there.
That was an ideal situation to leave a man on third. Do not give them the opportunity to shut that door for them, which opens up a new door of opportunity for these Gators right here in the bottom of the 8th. As I said earlier, these Gators have 6 outs of baseball left, and there could be an opportunity to get some runs across the board as Andrew Lopez heads out to the mound again. Chico State looking to put their confidence in him to see if he's got one more inning in him. Gators having a little bit of a pep talk by head coach Tony. Tony giving him some good words of encouragement. This isn't his first time doing this. He's a very motivational speaker, knows how to get these boys riled up, and that's exactly what he needs to do for this next bottom 2 innings. With leadoff hitter Jack Harris coming up to bat, could prove quite deadly for these Chico State Wildcats, as they were going to hit the top of the order with Jack Harris, Jackson Kirsch, and Brady Dorn all up in the 1, 2, 3 spots.
And you can really feel that the game is within their grasp here.
We got a little bit of action in the bullpen. 26, Alex Kent is warming up for Chico State. But right now, they're not focusing on that. Andrew Lopez is looking to focus on himself right now. Keep himself in this game. He does not want to be pulled out. He wants to get through this final inning and put a little bit more stats in his category. He's got right now, he's Got 72 innings total pitch, 54 hits, 49 strikeouts, and a 1.5 ERA as he throws that one in there for a called strike.
And not to mention 7 one-run innings, 5 hits. It's a pretty good stat line.
Woo!
And that's a called strike.
They said Jack Harris went around on that one. Unfortunately, it was due to his body moving, not because he actually swung. He was mainly trying to get out of the way. But
Downsides of being a big man.
yeah, big boy problems. BBP.
And pitch. And that's ball. Little inside. A little
Good
outside
eye.
again. Good take there for the Gators.
There we go, man. Find your way, kid. Come on.
Harris.
High, outside.
Jack Harris, always a patient hitter. Was down 0-2. Came up, bouncing back. Now the count's 3-2. Full count.
See what he does here. It's do or die time.
There we go, Nick.
Pops it up. This one's going to be a dancer for the infielder, number 25, first base. Gets under it. Catches it for the out. That retires Jack Harris.
1 out so far this inning.
Number 4, Jackson.
A little bit of this downtime, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the Zarino's Pizza, located in the bottom half of the Cesar Chavez Center, delivering delicious slices for all of our Gators. My personal favorite is the Gator. It's going to be part pepperoni with a little bit of pesto on it. What's your favorite kind of pizza, Aaron?
You know, I'm pretty fond of pepperoni and pineapple. Sorry, not pepperoni.
Oh, and he gets by.
Peppercini and pineapple.
Digging into second after that pass ball. He's going to hold up at second.
Wow, there's a
As
whole
number 4, Jackson Krish, gets lucky on that ground ball. Could be a costly error for these Wildcats, as there is now a runner in scoring position. As you see, the ball gets by, and Jackson Krish with that heads-up baseball mentality gets to second. Almost thinks about 3, but decides to keep it safe and stay on second. Gators have a runner in scoring position here with 1 out.
you know, after all the mental defensive errors earlier in the game, it's really important to, obviously you want to win, but you got to play slightly cautiously here.
Absolutely, you cannot be too greedy. You want to go ahead and take this and earn it.
Oh, beautiful hitting. It goes deep, and it's caught in deep right field.
Number 4
Runner.
tagging. Gets to third in time. Jackson Krish with a heads-up baseball play right there. Knows that that ball is going to be caught. Tags at second, and now you have a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs.
This is the kind of situations the Gators have been finding themselves in all day. Let's see if they can get out of this jam.
There we go, Rod.
Lopez still in the game. Fires high and outside to the
Rogers looking to go ahead and get his boys back in this runner in scoring position, down by 2 runs. Number 17 is looking to put some contact in the ball against tired pitcher Andrew Lopez. And he does just that, and that gets down for a base hit. Crowd rallying behind Rogers on that base hit. Scores number 4, Jackson Krish with a heads-up base play. That makes the lead down to 1. Gators 3. Sorry,
The Gators are
2.
fired up
Chico
here.
State Wildcats 3.
with Anton Self stepping into the box. 2 outs, runner on first. If we did rally caps here in San Francisco, they'd be on right now.
Wearing my rally cap inside my heart. Seems to be a pinch runner in effect. And for Dorn is number 3.
I realize I've been saying this for half the game at least, but Lopez is looking tired out there.
Number 3, Kyler Crone is in on first base, looking to see if he can get some speed around the bags. Got a couple stolen bases last year. Does not have any this year. Last year he stole 4. Looking to see if he can go ahead and do that this year. Add one on the total.
You know, if you could add one on, this would be the time.
Absolutely. Kyler Crone looking to gas up those cleats for a little bit. It's been a little non-existent in the season this year, but now he's in and he has the opportunity to go ahead and tie this game up if he can get around first.
High inside pitch.
A little bit of chin music there for 32. Anton Self is not only majoring in business, he means business. Right now, he's in the business of base hits. Let's see if he can go ahead and talk one in. He takes that one outside.
Count as 2-1. And he fires. Runner goes to second. Head first slide, and he's safe.
And he's safe! Great job by Crone right there. As you see, he steals second, not in time. And Blue does his best impersonation of an airplane and calls him safe.
You know, a lot of people say that baseball is all just jock straps and pine tar, but here's Crone to show you that it's about other things like stealing bases.
Stealing bases, sunflower seeds, and big dingers. That's what they're looking to do right here. And a hot dog.
Hit deep, center field.
Could be trouble.
And they catch it.
But unfortunately, it's not, as they inch closer on an RBI singer by Trevor Rogers. Kyle Pineda was underneath that one to get that out and get these Wildcats out of a little bit of a pinch. We head into the top of the 9th. Chico State 3, San Francisco Gators 2.
Gators can taste it.
The game for the Gators in play left field, number 3, Kyler Crone. Moving from left field to first base, number 13, Harley Lopez.
Couple substitutions in this game. Harley Lopez moving to third base. First base, sorry.
Leading off the top of the 9th inning for Chico State, the right fielder, number 32, Brandon Hernandez.
Brandon Hernandez leading off the top of the 9th, looking to see if he can add a little bit of insurance here for the Chico State Wildcats. Number 32, Brandon Hernandez, outfielder, 5'10", senior, majoring in marketing. He transferred from the University of Nebraska, Kearney. In his pre-Chico days, he batted .388 for the Loopers in 2018, earning first team All-Mid-American Intercollegiate Athletics Association and first team All-Central Region honors. Good for him.
What's really important here is, as a lefty, he's really milking this matchup here. Jenkins buries one in there for a ball.
Shows bunt, trying to play a little bit of a small ball here late in the ninth.
They are starting to lose it over there on the Chico State bench.
Chico State trying to see if they can tack on any runs to make this more of a non-closer game. But San Francisco Gators are still in this. So is
Jenkins.
everybody else down here on the field.
Jenkins delivers a fastball in there for a strike. And pitch. Shows bunt. Pulls it back. And we'll take first base.
Second base, number 42, Griffin Hennessy.
Griffin Hennessy steps into the box.
With that walk, Nate Jenkins is looking to keep the ball down and low, double play scenario for his infielders, who he trusts very much. He's been playing with them for years. They even have a bingo night every Thursday at his place where he provides chips and soda. Heard his famous 7-layer dip is absolutely to die for, as on the 6th layer, instead of beans, he decides to put a little bit extra nacho cheese in there. A bold move by him, but well loved by all of the players on the team.
Gotta love that extra queso.
The answer to everything is extra queso, and our boy Nate Jenkins is ahead of the curve on that one.
Jenkins checks to first base. And the pitch shows bunt again.
Chico State showing a lot of bunts up in here in the top of the ninth, trying to keep these infielders in to maybe try and squeeze a small base hit over their heads. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
What Chico State really needs here is an insurance run. With the Gators breathing down their neck, that is a strike.
That's exactly what Jenkins needed right there. Down in the count 2-0. Throws a little strike in there. Count 2-1.
Throws back to first, brushes him off. He's safe.
Very important for Jenkins to keep number 32 on the bag. You do not want to see him get to third in this scenario. You want to keep him as close as you can, so that way it does not give him any opportunity to score here late in the ninth.
And he bunts it down the first base side, and it's foul.
Decent try by 42 Hennessy, but could not keep it on the line, as this field definitely has a slant down here on the first baseline. Lots of unique angles here in the San Francisco State baseball field, as this field was redesigned to be more adequately for drainage. For those who aren't here right now, the Maloney Field is at the bottom of what it seems to be a giant ditch. It's surrounded by all 4 high risen walls with trees, and that makes it perfect for puddles to form. So
One man's ditch is another man's swimming pool, Mike.
absolutely, and when it rains, this field definitely becomes a swimming pool, as we've seen here many times before during the early games of this season. That is exactly why the Gators have had to play a lot of games on the road.
Jenkins digs in. Catcher shows signs. Checks first. And the kick. And runner goes.
Buttless laid down.
And that's a foul ball, I guess. Oh, that was tricky.
A little bit of
So,
confusion right now. Harley Lopez thought that he was called out. Hennessy on that last play decided to go backwards. Not sure if he knew how to run the base paths as all the other players do when they go down the straight line, but to do a little bit of a trickery or a tomfoolery, if you will, he decided to run back towards home plate, confusing Harley Lopez. The play was not called out until Harley Lopez threw it back to the bag at first. Runner at first got to advance to second. Now we have a man on second with 1 out here in the top of the ninth.
Perez comes into the box. Third baseman. Right-hander. Throws right. And a trip to the mound. Jenkins is really feeling the heat here.
Small little mound visit here by volunteer pitching coach Wayne Franklin. This is Wayne Franklin's first season as a pitching coach. Wayne's out there talking to Nate, trying to get a game plan going. He wants to make sure that everybody's on the same page, make sure that we're doing it all right, but just making sure everybody's in line.
And that's Pat Rivera coming up to check in on the powwow. Says, get your butts in gear.
Sometimes it's hey guys, wrap it up, or time to pull the plug. One thing in baseball is kind of like to take our time a little bit. Baseball is a very patient sport. Lots of time to play, lots of time to do stuff, but sometimes Blue's like, hey, got dinner with the wife at 7:30. I gotta go.
Or in his case, dinner with his mom.
That is true. He likes to make a tuna noodle casserole for his mom on Friday nights. That has been their tradition for the past 13 years.
Jenkins takes his foot off the rubber, puts it back on. From the stretch. Runner on second. And the pitch. Low and inside.
Nate trying to get that curveball to stick right in there, seeing if he can get a nice low ball ground out, something easy for the boys behind him to get a nice simple out without having to advance that runner. Hennessy on second. Sorry, not Hennessy. Advance the runner. 32 on second.
Keep the ball down. And pitch. Also low.
Really trying to attack that low strike zone. Unfortunately for Nate, he's not reaching it just yet. Makes the count 2-0.
Nate taking a nice long time to deliver the pitch. Stares down, runner on second, and the pitch. Right over the plate.
In there for the first called strike.
Count is 2-1. One out, runner on second. Wildcats still winning 3-2.
Gators, after this, they still got 3 outs to give so they can come back. Best part about being home field advantage is you get that bottom of the ninth so you get another chance.
Runner goes.
Swing and a miss.
Throw down to third. And he's safe. Crowd
Heard
is
a lot
upset.
of chirping from the fans as that call was a bit controversial. As skipper Tony heads out to talk with third base umpire about that call, he was not feeling it, as a lot of these fans in the stands were not as well. What do you think they're talking about, Aaron?
I think they're having a civil conversation about whether our runner was safe or not.
Yeah, it's one of those. We had a replay. We definitely show that over, and we could pause it, still frame, and check it out.
Yeah,
Just give Tony a little peace of mind.
Be really nice if we could see what just happened there again.
Yeah, Tony's going to go ahead and let him know that it's extremely frustrating for some of those calls to not go your way, but this conversation seems to be a little bit more civilized than a couple in the past. Back in the day, I watched a minor league baseball game where a head coach decided to rip the second base out. He then crawled from second base on his belly, grabbed the rosin bag at the pitcher's mound, and threw it like a grenade at the home plate umpire. That rosin bag, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a piece of kind of fluffy, dusty powder that pitchers like to use, similar to how you would chalk up your hands in gym class or even chalk up your hands before you're going up a walk wall. But I remember that game like it was just yesterday because that man looked very similar to my Uncle Raji.
It's bigger than any childish blow-up I've ever seen Lou Piniella have.
Yeah, Lou Piniella, very known for getting in the face, dirt all over the place, but our head coach, Tony, he is not like that. He's very civilized and very calm. As we get back into the game.
Low and outside. It's a ball. It's a full count. Runner on second. Sorry, runner on third. One out.
Full count for Perez. Perez looking to knock a runner in with a base hit right here.
Fouls down the first base side. And it will go out of bounds. New ball.
New ball, new pitch, new opportunity for Nate Jenkins as he gets into this one and wants to get out of this jam. And the pitch is down in the dirt. Walked him.
That is not what we wanted here. Another meeting to the mound.
Looks like either a meeting at the mound. We might even see a pitching change right here. Tony Shapino heading out to them. Has Nate Robinson give over the pearl and passes it over to new pitcher Malone. If I'm not mistaken, that's how you say his name. Let's go ahead and check the StatCast to see if I'm saying his name right. But that's going to be it for our pitcher, Nate. Let's go into starting pitcher.
Now pitching for the Gators, number 29, Dylan
Madel. My apologies about that. Not Malone. It's a Madel. Dylan Madel, known to have probably the best hair in San Francisco State right now. He's a right-handed pitcher, 6'2". He's a freshman, and he's from Belen, California, and he's majoring in business.
Really, to come out here as a freshman in this kind of situation, it takes a lot of guts.
Absolutely. Despite him being a freshman in those kind of first year jitters, he has 19.1 innings pitched, where he's allowed 28 hits, 12 runs, 12 earned runs, given up 12 walks, and he's stricken out 18. He's had his average hovering around the 450 to 559 for the past 4 to 5 games, but he's going to look to go ahead and bring those numbers down, get these Gators out of this little hole that they've dug themselves into, and see if they can go ahead and get it onto the bottom of the ninth, because right now that's the only thing the Gators are focusing on right now, getting to the bottom of the ninth and getting those at-bats and getting some reps in and just getting on the board.
Yeah, we've really gotten to see Madel grow up and show confidence this year as a freshman. Go out and stare down the upperclassmen a little bit.
Yeah, Madel gets a lot of his inspiration from all of these veterans that he gets to play around. It's very encouraging for him if you have the question to seek the help from his teammates who have been there for a couple more seasons than he has, and we've definitely seen that in him. Definitely has a lot of confidence on the mound. Back when he played Cal Poly Pomona, he went and struck out 4 people in that game, and that's what we like to see. So we want to see that happen today here. Luckily for us, he does not need 4 strikeouts. He only needs 2 outs. But with a runner on the corners and first and third, it could be a little bit more challenging than we thought to see. So as we watch Dylan Madole get into stride, we'll see what kind of stuff he has in store for us. Aaron?
Steps onto the mound. Centers himself. Looks to third. And a nice waist height fastball over the plate, coming in for a strike.
That ball had a little movement on it. Could have been some sort of 2-seamer that he went ahead and chucked it in there at the last moment. It kind of danced around a little bit. Did a little shimmy, yo, shimmy yum, shimmy yay.
And a bunt. Bounces foul.
Harley Lopez was quick to get on that ball. If there was a chance at the plate, unfortunately, he might have been a little late as that ball died as soon as it hit the dirt. We keep talking about the field conditions here today, and we're seeing so many unique things about this field where if you hit it just the right spot, the ball either gains speed or it dies. Like Lindsay Lohan's career, it is just all over the map. You cannot control it. It's unpredictable, if you will.
People like to use the term English to describe the movement of a basketball, but it really applies to the bounces that these balls are taking here on the field. And that's a foul tip for a third strike. He's out.
I don't think he made contact with that. I think that was a nice, clean, classy strikeout. If he foul tipped it, he would have had a chance to throw it, but blew behind the plate. Just said he went around and didn't touch it all. I didn't even hear a little tink. As we get into this, Madole facing second batter, Kyle Pineda, outfielder from San Diego, majoring in business administration. Kyle Pineda's biggest non-sports hero is The Rock, or as some people know, Dwayne Johnson. He says one day he wants to meet Sammy Sosa.
Pineda taking a little bit of a lead. High fly ball into shallow left field.
Hacks it for Harley
And
Lopez.
that'll be out number 3. We go to the 9th inning here. Score is 3-2 Wildcats.
Nice big standing ovation for Madole as he gets out of that inning with 2 outs. Goes ahead and puts the team underneath his wing and allows them to not give up any runs here in the top of the 9th. We are heading to the bottom of the 9th. And we have the White Stripes, 7 Nation Army, pumping these Gators up.
That's how you know it's serious.
We got a nice big chance for the Gators right here, as up to bat is Harley Lopez, followed by his buddy Colin Gable. We're in just a little bit of a 6, 7, 8 spots down here. Got Harley Lopez, Colin Gable, and Trevor Greenlee up in this inning. So you know for a fact that all of them are going to go ahead and try and get on base. We're doing a little bit of standing here in the booth because it's very intense. We are on our feet, but as we dive into this right now, we are going to get ready to focus on some of this baseball.
And we have a new pitcher, Alex Kent, who has kind of an interesting hitch in his pitch here. He starts sidearming it and then comes over the top. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of action his pitchers will have and how San Francisco's hitters will see the ball coming out of his hand. Hey, CJ.
Yeah, Alex Kent definitely has a funky delivery, that's for sure. Before his pre-Chico days, he made 21 relief appearances in 2 years with the Gauchos.
Zach, Sam, how you doing, guys?
Hey there, my man. That's Zach out there throwing the dab special. We just want to go ahead and thank all of our cameramen for putting in hard work. 18 innings of baseball. We've been locked in to all of these daunting positions, but we must say it has been an absolute pleasure watching these Gators play. So we just want to thank everybody on the cameras, everybody in the booth, and everybody here on the field. Oh, and all of those fans back there. And of course, to my co-host, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank
for
you,
being
Mike.
here. Appreciate you, man.
It was nice meeting up with you at 10 this morning.
Absolutely.
Great way to start the
Breakfast and baseball
day.
is how I love my Friday mornings to start. If I could have that every day, I think I would.
All right. New pitcher. And fouled down the first baseline by Harley.
Right now, the Gators are in the last 3 outs of baseball here for the day. Been playing baseball since noon today. This has been a almost 7-hour day of baseball.
Worst one in there for a belt high strike.
Harley Lopez finds himself in a hole. Count 0-2.
Kent steps back on the mound. And the pitch, a little high.
Pitch was just a bit high. Harley Lopez with the steady eye, locked in, did not want to swing at that one.
He's tending to miss high. I feel like Harley could wait this one out and possibly end up on base. And
Harley waits up.
pitch. Swing and a miss. Harley is out. One out, and here comes the Game of Thrones theme.
They call him Colin Game of Gables back in his dorm room floor. Every Sunday, he hosts a Game of Thrones party at his house where they sit on opposite sides. One is Team Living, and the other is Team White Walkers. He decides to be on Team Living. Takes that one in for called strike. As right now, we are seeing Alex Kent from Chico.
Gets a little chippy there with Mr. Kent on the mound. Little trash talking going back and forth. Ooh, check swing. And that's a called strike. Down 0-2.
Seemed to kind of bite him in the tuchus a little bit on that one. Maybe might have got him a little unfocused. Colin Gable looking to get back into it as Harley Lopez delivers in. That is strike 3.
So, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, down by 1. All it takes is one swing of the bat.
Jonah Gonzalez digging into the box. Those of you who don't know, Jonah, good friend, went to the same community college, College of San Mateo. Go Bulldogs. But right now, he's not focused on that. He's focused on the task at hand. That is get on base.
And that's called strike.
Man, Alex Kent is throwing darts right now into the center of the plate as he has only thrown 2 balls in this appearance.
And the pitch. A little bit low.
Good eye right there for Jonah Gonzalez as he takes that one for a called ball. Count is 1-1.
Another ball. Count is 2-1. Good piece of that down the third base line.
Deep
He will
throw.
it to first, and the game is over. Chico State wins. Of course, splitting the doubleheader, 1-1.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate loss for the San Francisco State Gators. Couple of costly errors early in the game, which give a couple runs of extra lead for the Chico State Wildcats. But these Gators did not give up. They battled back in the 5th inning, getting 1 and also getting another run in the 8th, but it did not prove to be enough as they lose the second game of this doubleheader 3-2.
On the bright side, still a game and a half above Chico State in the conference standings.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, because, that is a bummer of a loss, but due to their overwhelming succession on the road, the San Francisco Gators still hold on to that spot in the playoffs. They go tomorrow, play 2 games with a little 2-inning on top of that. There's a 2-inning game where they have to finish it out, where they're down from Sonoma State, and then there's also a doubleheader after that.
It's a long
So
day.
on top of the 18 innings of baseball today, there's going to be 20, yes, you heard it, 20 big ones of baseball going down tomorrow. So we want to invite everybody out to Maloney Field for every single inch of the action tomorrow. But I do want to toss it over to Aaron as we say our final goodbyes for today. It's been a fun afternoon, Aaron. What do you think?
I thought it was great. I thought this was a better game than the first one. I would have liked to have seen San Francisco win, obviously, but I feel like they're in excellent postseason form right now. If I could suggest them to work on anything, it would just be maybe pitching.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that. We're going to go ahead and conclude this broadcast of the San Francisco Gators baseball. My name is Michael Schwint.
I'm Aaron Cundy.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you so much for coming on out. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow for 20 innings of baseball. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Nice. You're done.
Oh, my God, my ears hurt so bad.